Hey guys, and today is going to be something a little bit different from my usual adventures. I'm actually going to do a little bit of a reaction video on the YouTube Rewind. Here we go. Okay, so YouTube Rewind. It's something that I normally probably wouldn't address, but 2017 has been a bit of a controversial year, and just joining YouTube, I'm doing a lot of research, as I normally do with these things, about what's going on in the broader community, how I can improve, how I can advance, and how I can grow. And that means I'm coming across a lot of the controversy and a lot of the vitriol against YouTube, particularly this year. I mean, I know it gets hate every year from a certain crew, but this year has been particularly bad. There's been a lot of hate for it on Reddit. It's got the highest dislike to like ratio, I think, of any of the ones they've done before. And yeah, it's been a pretty turbulent year. So especially for the community of YouTube. So I'm going to have a look at that, and we're going to talk about it a little bit. And then if you've got any comments or questions, drop them below and I'll try and answer them as best I can. Right, let's jump into it. My first point about the rewind is I know it's supposed to be an end of year celebration where they take everything good and everything that's trended and gone on well with the year and put it all into a video, and they try and recognize as many creators as they can who are doing well and who have sort of crushed it in the year. And they take a lot of the memes and a lot of the music and the best things that they can think about for the year, what's made them grow this year, and put it all into one video. And I know they have a fixed amount of time to do this. They probably have a fixed budget as well, so there's limitations on what they can do. But as an overview of what I felt was wrong with it, before I go into the sort of specifics, is I feel like a lot of the creators who have really poured their heart and soul into what they have done didn't get much time and didn't get much recognition. People like Markiplier, for example, his friend Ethan, there's a couple of other people, a lot of the big Korean and K-pop YouTubers didn't seem to get that much time in there. And then people like Logan Paul got loads of time in there, and I don't feel like fair play to them to making their channel what it is today, but I don't know if necessarily they have put in as much work to try and grow as opposed to just getting lucky with being viral and having some controversy. So yeah, I feel like a lot of the smaller people didn't get as big a slice of the pie as they should, and a lot of the bigger people who maybe didn't earn it as much, I don't know if I can say that honestly, but who maybe didn't earn it as much, got a lot more time than they should. Another big one to address is number two is PewDiePie. PewDiePie was not in this year's Rewind, and it's very easy to say that's because he's caused a lot of the controversy that YouTube is going through at the moment, due to the first adpocalypse. We're right slap bang in the middle of the second adpocalypse, which wasn't him this time, and you can say that the first one wasn't entirely his fault either. But basically, we're in Adpocalypse 2.0. A lot of the problems that YouTube are going through aren't being addressed fully by YouTube. So maybe the fact that they didn't put him in and didn't acknowledge the fact that there's been a bit of a problem might be a broader symptom of the problem at large. Like if they're not willing to admit what issues they have, how can they fix them appropriately? He is still the biggest channel on YouTube. And he has enough of a following that would probably make him worth even putting in for like a few seconds, like they did with last year. But yeah, It's a bit weird that they didn't put him in. I totally get why they didn't as a business decision. That kind of makes sense. He's got a very good video on it, which I will put just up here. Which is his kind of reaction about why he didn't want to be in it. So yeah, PewDiePie wasn't in it. That was understandable, but you know, come on, he's the biggest YouTuber. Why isn't he in it? He's like their kind of... he's their success story that they don't want to talk about anymore. I wonder if 2018 will be a little different, whether they'll bring him back into the fold, if they can make their peace with him. So, third point is the controversy this year. Now, I know that it is supposed to be a celebration of everything good that happened this year, but there's been a lot going on, and we are in Adpocalypse 2.0, where a lot of the advertisers are pulling out, and I think it's all well and good YouTube acknowledging everything good that's going on, but they're not open enough with the community, from what I've read and what I've heard, with what is happening about all the bad things, that it seems a bit rough that they're willing to shout and scream about everything good and not really address the issues that they are having, even to the people that it's relevant to. If someone's getting demonetized on their channel and they ask a question, why aren't they getting answers? There's a fairly popular science and learning channel called Cody's Lab. I'll put a link up here. And he got his channel. He was banned from uploading for 2 weeks for no apparent reason. And nobody would tell him why. He was very worried. Obviously, a lot of these people, it is their income. It is their part and parcel. And for someone to just pull the rug out from under them without telling them why is quite a serious thing for them. So, yeah. It's great that you're making a big celebration, but maybe you should look at addressing things that are problems. So my fourth point, I think it's my fourth point. Is it my fourth point? It's probably my fourth point, is that there were a load of memes in there that honestly probably shouldn't have been. Like, I know fidget spinners have been a big thing this year, and Despacito has been a big track, and there's been a couple of other bits of big music that have been really popular. But Thriller? Why is Thriller in there? Thriller's like, probably, what, like 40, 50 years old now? No, not that old, but like, you know, it's old. It's old. Why is Thriller making a comeback in 2017? Not to be like... not to talk about it as the point of it is, but let it die. Let it stay dead. I know it's about zombies, but it doesn't have to keep resurrecting itself. Oh, but yeah. So why was Thriller in there? And what's this paint throwing thing? Like, I get that they probably pulled in a load of YouTubers from... well, they did pull in a lot of YouTubers from different countries, and they all have their own thing, and that, you know, maybe the paint throwing thing trended in a different country where they pulled a load of the YouTubers in from. But on the flip side of the coin, there are probably a load of other memes that happened in different parts of the world that they didn't put into the rewind. And it makes me wonder, how do they decide which YouTubers and which memes get put into it and which ones get left out of it, even if they're big in other countries? So I think that if it was me designing this thing, and a lot of other people have said this, I'd probably make localized YouTube rewinds. Have one for the English-speaking countries and the English-speaking memes that went around the US, UK, Canada. And then, you know, if something was particularly viral in, say, Germany, then have a German rewind with all the German YouTubers. And, you know, likewise in Korea and Japan and China, and make it a bit more local. Make it so that people can sort of identify with it a bit more. You know, maybe in China they didn't have a thing about fidget spinners and wondering why it's such a massive part of the rewind. Anyway, that's just my thought on the matter. Maybe maybe this is the formula that's worked best for them, and that's why they keep reapplying it. I don't know. I'm not an insider, so I'm going to put my hands up and say that might be a business decision. Point number 5, and this one's a bit weird. Like, Casey Neistat, who is one of my favourite vloggers, link above, actually got demonetized for a video he did where he said basically all the proceeds of this video, and I'm going to start a Kickstarter for the victims of a tragedy. And basically YouTube were like, look, we don't allow monetization of tragedies or, advertising on them. We are going to pull your funding and on this particular video. And all the money was going to the charity to help deal with the issues that came about. And so he got demonetized for that. And the community was quite angry about that, as you can imagine they would be. Yet Jimmy Kimmel, who is kind of one of the more celebrities rather than creators, managed to keep his funding and monetization on his video that he did about the tragedy. And I mean, that's kind of like in the past, they've all made their peace about it, and things have developed. But it's very interesting to suddenly see YouTube acknowledging the fact that 2017 has been a pretty dramatic year with tragedies, etc. And in fact, there's actually a sort of plot device for them to show all the community being lovely, happy, clappy, and all holding hands. So it seems like a bit of a double standard to demonetize a load of people who talked about it and then use it in your rewind. Not sure I agree with that one. So yeah, those are my thoughts on YouTube Rewind. I feel like it should have included more people and maybe been a bit more targeted on who it should have included. And I honestly do think that they should branch it out into localized ones so people know where all the memes are coming from, rather than having to go away and look it all up and still be confused afterwards. I feel like Thriller didn't really have a part in this year's Rewind. It seems a bit strange to me. I know All Star was a big thing this year with Smash Mouth, but even he's admitted that he doesn't like the meme. So why was he in it? How did they get him in it? I don't understand. And yeah, honestly, I feel like some of the YouTubers that did appear in it didn't necessarily, have been crushing it this year and have put their heart and soul into their content. I feel like they honestly just got pushed to the side for the memes. The memes were everywhere, fidget spinners and the Paul brothers, and I honestly don't understand why that comes first over hard work, which is what's been bringing people to YouTube and growing the community and making YouTube what it is for the longest time. I get that YouTube is strongly benefits from viral growth and from viral videos, but ultimately without the hard work of its creators, it wouldn't be where it is today. And viral videos wouldn't take off in the same way that they do. So I feel like as a celebration of all that's good, maybe celebrating the memes so much shouldn't be the focus, but go back to how they used to do it. Celebrate the creators and the channels and the things that made YouTube big, rather than just trying to meme your way through the Rewind with dabbing and shooting stars and fidget spinners, and concentrate on the people. It'd be nice to see maybe 2018 Rewind as more of a focus on the channels and the YouTubers again, rather than just what happened. Anyway, that's my thought on the matter. And basically, if you've made it this far, thank you. And if you didn't, you won't see this, so whatever. But anyway, I'm not going to do too many commentary videos, as it were, where I react to things, but I'll do them every now and then. if I feel like they're important to me and if I feel like they have a place on the channel. So yeah, and I'll put a couple of my favourite bloggers and vloggers on cards here and here, and yeah, maybe I'll put some of the videos that sort of led me to want to make this up there as well. So I hope you enjoyed it, and I will catch you in the next video.